What's up, guys? It's your fucking boy. Feel free to hit the like button, guys. My like goal is just one. I only want to reach one freaking like, and I'll freaking be happy. I'll cry. The freaking bees. So basically, Hollow Knight SilkSong is, when's it gonna be released? And what are the theories for the release date for Hollow Knight SilkSong? So we know it's coming to the Nintendo Switch and the PC. We know that for a fact. But when's it coming out? When are we gonna be able to get our hands on it and play? Well, we also know that it was traditionally supposed to be DLC for Hollow Knight. So we know the game is pretty much there, and it was supposed to like be a story for Hornet. You were supposed to learn more about Hornet, and you were supposed to get it like in February this year. So a lot of it's done, but I feel that they'll want to kind of like build upon it. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of Reddit posters, I read a Reddit post, it said that it was supposed to release February and it's not going to be released for a while because Team Cherry are just 3 people and they'll probably want to add stuff to it. And just being 3 people, they were saying a window from a year away. Then someone else I read said that since it was already completed, they might just release it. It might be just about time to release it. One rumor said July or June 2020 or 2019, one of the two. One of them definitely said 2020. Um, all these release dates mean to me is that we're gonna get a more polished game. The more pushed back it is, we know it's probably gonna be using the same engine as Hollow Knight because really you don't really need to change the Hollow Knight engine too much because the graphics are there. I know the graphics are hand drawn, kind of like Cuphead. So really, that seems like it would be the hardest part because it took Cuphead so long, mainly just because everything was hand drawn. And the same goes for this game. Everything's hand drawn in this game. And with these hand drawn games, it does take a while. The art probably takes as long as the coding, and I actually looked at the coding for Deltarune. And Toby Fox said he wanted to make a team. I don't know how big. I think he's talking like really big, as in more than 3, but you know, it could just be 3 people. I didn't know that you could make a team with just 3 people. And because of that, because I imagine Cuphead is much bigger in production size. I know they work with Xbox than this game. So production size, if it takes Cuphead that long to get to a Cuphead 2, which they are wanting to make, imagine how long this game's going to take with just 3 people. To granted, it's pretty much already done because you know the art for the main character is pretty much there. And then coding, as I was talking about with Deltarune, the Deltarune coding, I looked at the files. It takes a lot to code. Like, I'm not saying like, you know, it'd take all day to code something, but it takes a lot to like, you know, just sit there and code something. Because I actually created a game myself back in the past. Um, Granted, these people know the language of whatever program they're using, CSS, stuff like that. Pretty much HTML code. If you ever messed around with that, then that's pretty much the same gist of what it is. And pretty much, it really just depends on how much they're trying to put into this new game. The bees, dude. The freaking bees. So, when's it gonna come out? It really depends on how ambitious this project is. I could see a window of, you know, this year if they're really that far along with it. But it seems like they really weren't planning for it to be a sequel because, like, whenever they created Hollow Knight, they created it and created the levels without actually creating the story. So it's kind of like that. they kind of like winged it, and decided to make it the next game, I guess, to because they didn't want to overprice people. Was it supposed to be $14? It was supposed to be a $14 game. So, and I know if you donated $10 at least on Kickstarter, then you got the game for free. So that can also help us determine when the window is. If we are able to get it for $10 for free now, then I'm guessing it'll be like a $20 game. And I guess they didn't want to make people pay $15 if it's such a big project. They could just make it new, and then like they didn't want to, like, they probably didn't want to make a whole new Hollow Knight with that being there, and they probably recognized that this story could actually answer a lot of questions that have been lingering in our minds from Hollow Knight. So there's probably going to be a lot more questions in this next game, since it's going to be based in a new world. Since it's going to be based in a new world, I'm going to imagine that like a lot of those new worlds are not going to be like created at the point of me saying this, but a lot of those worlds are actually worlds that were supposed to be in the original Hollow Knight, but were scrapped because of time constraints. So it makes me wonder. The bees, dude. This is like got me. It's like got me like, stop. If I die, it's because of the bees. So it makes me wonder. With what we know now, what Hollow Knight is so far, how long are we gonna be waiting for this game? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, these are the questions and what we know so far about the game. Feel free to hit like. I only want to hit one like, guys. That's all I need. Thank you so much for your time and clicking on the video. I hope I was able to answer a lot of your questions. It really just depends on how big they're trying to make this game. Are they winging it? Do they know how big they want to make it? We know there's going to be 150 plus enemies. Are we going to see enemies in the past? I imagine level design is the most fun part, but it's probably the easy. Well, I imagine it's the easiest. The creation of the enemies is, like I said, is probably the hardest part. Like, the animations are so good in this game, and they always pay attention to if things don't look like they should be in the world of Hollow Knight, as they were supposed to be snails in the original Hollow Knight, but they got scrapped. So if we see snails in the new Hollow Knight, SilkSong, then maybe they fit the new kingdom of wherever Hornet is going, because she's in a cage and because she was captured. So let's see what happens. I just thought of a new theory, guys. Holy crap. What if the Pale King is alive and he's sent for the capture of Hornet? Find out in my next theory video if that excites you. Thank you so much for clicking.